The United States today issued arrest warrants for the hijackers of the Pan Am jet in Karachi, Pakistan. A Justice Department spokesman said the murder charges are just protective to prevent the terrorists' release. The U.S. is confident the Pakistanis will prosecute them. In Karachi, a Pakistani official said 4 American military planes with hijacked specialists on board were on their way to Karachi before the terrorists opened fire. The U.S. would not comment on that. What emerged today was admission by the Pakistanis that they were not prepared to rescue the hostages. Keith Miller reports.
Investigators searched the Pan Am jumbo jet this morning looking for clues to help them reconstruct the tragic end to the hijacking. What couldn't be missed was the evidence of bloodshed and panic as hundreds of people ran for their lives, and they had to do it on their own. Pakistani officials admitted today they played no part in the release of the hostages, and that their anti-terrorist troops were not prepared to act once the hijackers opened fire. The terrorists apparently panicked when the plane's auxiliary power unit went out, cutting off the lights. It was apparently the Pan Am crew that averted a massacre by releasing emergency chutes so the hostages could get out. One of the first passengers off the plane rushed to Pakistan's chief of civil aviation, pleading for help.
And he said, they have started killing everybody indiscriminately. For God's sake, do something. They're right here, and this is exactly what he's saying. And more people were streaming down. I rushed to the nearest post, and through the megaphone we said, where are our people? Where are the commandos? They must come out.
But they didn't, not right away. It took 15 minutes for them to reach the plane, and by then the lucky ones had already escaped. The government also revised the status of the 4 hijackers, saying only 1 was killed, and that 3 terrorists are in custody, 1 of them wounded. An interpreter used during the negotiations with the hijackers identified them as Palestinians.
Palestinian, positively.
Lists of the survivors and where they could be found were posted in the city's major hotels. There was relief and concern.
Don't worry.
The U.S. Air Force provided a medical evacuation plane for some 20 patients requiring specialized treatment. They were put aboard the flight to a military hospital in West Germany.
50 feet down here are American military doctors and nurses who will take a look at you quickly. 100 feet beyond is the airplane.
So far, only the Indian government, whose citizens have suffered the greatest number of casualties, have criticized the Pakistanis' handling of the hijack. The government has suspended several airport security officials pending an investigation into how the terrorists got onto the tarmac and into the plane. But the Pakistani government is not about to apologize for the attack taking place here, saying nothing can stop a determined, fanatic group of terrorists from attacking unarmed civilians in a public place. Keith Miller, NBC News, Karachi.
Moscow today condemned the hijacking and called for international action to prevent terrorism. An official statement from TASS declares there is no justification for such a crime. In the past, the Kremlin has remained silent about acts of terrorism directed at Americans. Today's statement did not mention that the hijacking involved an American.